Now, new on Eyewitness News, Connecticut has taken a strong stance against domestic violence, and now there's a push for stronger laws all across the country.
Yeah, the parents of a local mother murdered by her husband are hoping a law in their daughter's honor will become a national law. Our chief Capitol reporter Susan Raff talked with them about a cause very close to their heart.
Susan?
Very close to their heart. Lori Jackson was murdered, shot by her husband. Her 2 young children were there when it happened. Lori did have a restraining order, but that did not stop her husband from buying a gun and killing her. A law passed since Lori's death may have saved her life.
If we could save a life, it would mean so much to me, because you don't realize what a family goes through.
It's been over 5 years since Mary Jackson's daughter was killed, but the pain remains. Lori Jackson feared her husband, Scott Gellatley. She filed 3 restraining orders and moved into her parents' Oxford home with her twin 18-month-old babies. But Gellatley avoided being served by traveling to Virginia to buy a handgun. Scott Gellatley shot his wife 4 times. He also shot Lori's mom in the head, damaging her eye.
A woman is 5 times as likely to die from domestic violence if there's a gun in the home. More than half of all female homicide victims are killed by an intimate partner.
Senator Blumenthal wants Congress to reauthorize the Violence Against Women Act, which gives federal funding for prosecution, services, and domestic violence groups, and to include the Lori Jackson Survivor Protection Act, modeled after a Connecticut law. That law allows guns to be removed in a restraining order. There are about 7,000 restraining orders applied for every year. About 5,000 are granted, and the guns are removed.
Domestic violence is not a political issue. I mean, domestic violence is an issue that impacts so many families across our country.
We're not asking everyone to surrender their guns. It's just, if there's been a violent incident, domestic violence, and there's a restraining order involved, you shouldn't be able to buy it. You should have your gun removed, and you shouldn't be able to buy a gun.
At this point, the act has passed in the House. It includes the law in honor of Lori Jackson. It must still win passage in the Senate, and then ultimately the president must sign it. Susan Raff, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.